They didn't break me all at once. They took their time. One crack at a time. One lie at a time. One betrayal at a time. Like glass, chipped, then shattered, then scattered. It wasn't the fall that destroyed me. It was the slow erosion of trust. The quiet blade that slipped beneath the ribs. Not screaming, just bleeding. And the one who held the handle, it wasn't a stranger. It was someone I trusted with the map to my soul. Someone I laughed with. Someone I would have burned for. And when they turned, they didn't need fire. They used silence. You see, when a kingdom burns, people notice. But when a soul crumbles, it happens quietly. No alarms. No sirens. Just the slow suffocation of who you used to be. I didn't wake up one day and become a monster. Number. I died in chapters. First the joy, then the hope, then the belief that people meant what they said. Each chapter ending not with a bang, but with an echo. A whisper that said, "You're alone now." I laid in the ruins, not of cities, but of identity. I wasn't picking up stones. I was picking up memories. Trying to remember who I was before the betrayals. Before the mask was ripped off. Before the mirror showed a stranger staring back. And you know what I learned? No one comes. No one shows up when your hands are bloody from holding your own broken pieces. No one knocks when the fire's gone cold. So I stopped waiting. Stopped calling for help that wasn't coming. Stopped begging for rescue from those who watched me drown. That's when the silence. Pain has a voice. It doesn't scream. It whispers. In the quiet. In the in-between moments when the world stops spinning. Just long enough for you to feel everything. I heard it. Late nights. Staring at ceilings that knew my tears better than any friend ever did. I heard it when my chest caved in, but my lips stayed sealed. I heard it in the space between my heartbeat and the silence in the room. A voice that kept saying, "They never cared. They never meant it. They never stayed." Every betrayal echoed louder than the one before. At first I blamed them. Then I blamed me. Then I stopped blaming and started remembering every word they said, every glance that meant something and later meant nothing. Every time I gave my loyalty like a gift and they treated it like trash. And the worst part? They didn't stab me in the back. They looked me in the eye and smiled as they twisted the blade. Memory isn't a gentle thing. It's not some soft breeze from the past. It's a storm. It drags you back to places you swore you'd never return. It makes you relive every almost, every what if, every should have known better. I kept replaying the betrayal over and over, like an addict, hooked on my own hurt, feeding on the poison just to remember what it felt like to feel anything at all. But pain teaches. It doesn't lecture. It burns lessons into your bones. And the first lesson: no one's coming to save you. The second: they never meant to. And the third: you either... After the fire faded, came silence. Not peace. Not healing. Not some romantic idea of closure. Just silence. Heavy. Unmoving. Like a tombstone with your name carved in it, while you're still breathing. That's the part they never warn you about. After the storm of betrayal, after the flood of pain, there's nothing. No more noise. No more crowds. No more pretending. Just you and your ghosts. I didn't run from that silence. I walked into it because I knew there's a kind of strength that only grows in exile. You can't hear your true voice when the world is screaming, but in silence, you hear everything. The lies, the truths you ignored, the warnings you silenced for the sake of keeping peace with people who never had war in their hearts, only cowardice. I sat in that silence like a king on a broken throne, and I listened to the beat of my own blood, to the wind whispering through my soul, to the version of me they buried under shame, mockery, and manipulation. And piece by piece, he began to rise, not in noise, but in knowing. They called it isolation. I called it ritual. They called it retreat. I called it resurrection. Because I wasn't hiding, I was sharpening. Every moment alone was a blade across my old skin. Every quiet night was a lesson in stillness, in focus. Every unanswered message, every ignored cry, taught me that survival was never about being seen. It was about being ready. And when you're buried in silence long enough, you stop begging to be heard. You start preparing to be remembered. They thought they erased me by excluding me, but silence became my forge. I didn't come back to talk. I came back to cut. No announcements, no grand speeches, just movement, calculated and cold. Because blades don't need to shout, they just need to be felt. When I returned, I didn't step into the world like I once did, hoping someone would see me. This time, I let them feel me. The silence I carried into every room, it was heavier than any noise they'd ever made. Because now I don't show emotion. I show results. They wondered where I went, why I vanished, why I never answered. And now they wonder how I returned so different, so focused, so untouchable. Let them wonder. Let them sit with the version of me they created, and the consequences they never expected to come walking back in, with eyes like steel and footsteps that echo like war drums. See, I didn't return for them. I returned for me. For the parts I left behind in the ruins. For the silence that raised me. For the pain that crowned me. For the ashes that whispered, "Become the storm." And I did. But not a storm of chaos. A storm of precision. Every word I speak now has weight. Every look, intention. Every step, a message. I am not here to be understood. I am here to be remembered. They thought I'd walk in with forgiveness in my eyes. They were wrong. I walked in with truth. Cold, unapologetic, sharp. And the truth is, I don't want revenge. I want distance. I don't want apologies. I want results. I don't want their words. I want their respect. And if they can't give it, I'll take it. This isn't rage. Rage is messy, loud, emotional. This is vengeance, and vengeance is surgical. I don't scream anymore. I strike. Not with fists, but with focus. Not with chaos, but with calculation. I walk into the room like a ghost they tried to bury, but now I walk taller than their pride can swallow. They whisper when I pass, not because they respect me, but because they fear what I became. Because now, they can't predict me. They can't read me. They can't break me. They look in my eyes and see nothing soft left. Only edges. I don't talk about what I'm building. I build it. Brick by silent brick. Move by silent move. While they post, I position. While they joke, I prepare. While they sleep, I study. I am not in competition. I am in domination. And domination does not shout. It executes. They used to overlook me, underestimate me, forget me. Now they stare with confused reverence, asking, how did he become that? Simple. I became what they forced me to become. They wanted a downfall. They got a blueprint. You see, I don't want their validation. I want their silence when I rise. I don't need them to clap. I need them to choke on their doubts. I don't want applause. I want that still moment when they realize they crafted their own undoing. Every move I make now is for the version of me they betrayed. The boy who begged. The man who broke. The soul that shattered quietly while they celebrated my collapse. I move for him. And every win, every level they thought the war would end me. They thought the fire would consume me, that the betrayals would silence me, that the loneliness would be the last chapter. But I didn't end. I expanded. I didn't die. I detonated. Because when they lit the match, they forgot. Some things aren't meant to burn down. Some things are meant to burn brighter. I didn't just survive the fire. I became it. I didn't just walk through the battlefield. I claimed it. Now I don't fear the war. I am the war. Every scar they gave me is now my insignia. Every time they laughed at my pain became fuel. Every time they left me behind gave me speed. Every time they doubted gave me focus. Now I move through life with the power of 10 versions of me. The boy I was, the man I became, and the weapon I forged in silence. This is what happens when you break someone and they learn to build from the rubble. When you betray someone and they learn to reign from exile. When you bury someone and they learn to breathe in the dirt. I don't walk like I used to. Now I march. I don't speak like I used to. Now I decree. I don't dream like I used to. Now I conquer. They told me I was too much, too cold, too intense, too distant. They were right, because kings don't kneel for comfort, they rise for dominion. And I didn't just come to take my seat at the table. I built the damn table. Then I took the crown they said I'd never earn and placed it on my own head with bloodied hands and unblinking eyes. Because nobody gave me this. I took it. This throne wasn't handed to me. It was carved from rejection, forged in solitude, built from the bones of my past. And now that I sit on it, there is no going back. There is no... I don't seek the throne. I am the throne now. You think it ends here? You think because I've risen, because I've claimed my crown, because I've silenced the noise, that the war inside me sleeps? Number. A blade never sleeps. Even now, in the stillness, beneath the silence, within the throne, I remain sharp, because peace is an illusion, a pause between battles, a test to see if the weapon you forged will rust when left unused. Not me. I stay ready. I don't rest in victory. I prepare in it. Because I know this world. I know the hands that once clapped for me will one day try to claw at my back. I know the faces that smiled during my silence will tremble when they realize I remember everything. I don't forget. I don't forgive. Not because of hatred, but because of honor. Because the path that birthed this version of me wasn't paved in comfort. It was soaked in blood, in betrayal, in the fire of 100 nights alone, asking, why me? And hearing nothing but the echo, because you were chosen to rise differently. So I did. I rose without applause, without sympathy, without handouts. I built myself from pain, from silence, from the broken glass they left behind. They thought they were ending something, but I was just beginning. Now I live like a prophecy, not loud, not boastful, but inevitable. I don't want to be liked. I want to be remembered. I don't want to be welcomed. I want to be whispered about. Not as the one who broke, but as the one who returned with fire in his veins and vengeance in his calm. Because true power doesn't parade, it walks.